In today's lesson, I will be going through the following with you. So there is this follow-up question that I will be handling. First of all, how to edit PDF files, because I know this is very, very crucial, as many of you will be dealing with documentations, filling out forms, and we are already in the digital age whereby you don't need to pass on documents physically. Everything can be done online. As a matter of fact, in this part of the world, most of document sharing are being done digitally. You want to rent a house, your landlord will send you the rental agreement digitally, and you have to sign. So, and that's the more reason why we set up this webinar, so that we can get our people acquainted with a lot of stuff happening online. And the earlier we know this, the better for us. So, and if time permits us, I will also be going through the Windows operating system environment, especially the control panel, how to use the Windows search box, and of course, how to visit the control panel and carry out some stuff on the platform. Then there's this very important aspect of it, whereby I'll be sharing how to use God mode. So if time permits us, we'll be understanding all of this stuff today. All right. So once again, I want to welcome you all, and I'm glad you're going to enjoy this masterclass. Like I said, if you have any question, I would prefer you drop them in the Telegram group so that I'll be able to collate all of them and use them as matters arising, or I'll start with them in our subsequent masterclass. So I hope that by the end of this training, you feel more confident and empowered in your digital interactions at your workplace or anywhere you find yourself online. So thank you for joining today. And so let's get right into it. So what is the follow-up question about? It's about how to edit PDF files. I think it's really important we start with that, right? So what I'm about to share with you, you should only use it for ethical purposes, please, which means you can only use it for your personal PDF documents or other people's PDF documents with permission from them, because it can't, I wouldn't advise you to use it for plagiarism or, all the unethical stuff. I believe everyone here connected with me online, we are all ethical in our dealings. So please, and please, I have to start with that disclaimer that the knowledge I'm sharing here with you and subsequent ones should be used ethically, please. Thank you very much. So for today, I'm going to share with you just one method, which I feel is still the best for now, and it is what I'm using. So for you to edit your PDF files, especially if an employer sends a form to you, probably an agreement form, or you want to rent a house. Of course, by the time you move to Ireland or the UK or anywhere in the world, most of these landlords, they will send the document to you by email before they send the physical document, the paper type. So you have to download it, edit it, put in some data or some information, and then sign. It's very important. So after signing, you have to send the document back to them so that they too will sign. And then it's binding on both parties. So that is the usual thing they do here. So not many people have time for sending papers, physical papers by post office. It takes time. So starting out, I'm going to share, what you're going to be using you go to your browser. If you have your PC with you there for practice, hold on. Need to be sure yes this. All right, go to your browser and type this M of Wealth, mofwealthcreation.com/Canva, mofwealthcreation.com/Canva. So that is the program we'll be using. So it's going to load and take you to their pricing page, but you're going to be using the free option because Canva comes with free option, Canva Pro, and Canva for Teams. Even though I use Canva for Teams, in my family, we use Canva for Teams because there are some advanced activities or editing features that we need that will require that we sign up for this option. But starting out, I will suggest you go for the free option for now. So you're going to click on get started here and you're going to sign up for free. When you are signed up, then you're going to come to the home page. You're going to come to the home page right here. So on the home page, you're going to click on create a design at the top right corner of your screen. When you click on create a design, you're going to scroll down at the bottom here. You're going to see import file button, import file. So click on it. When you click on it, a window will pop up whereby you can search for the PDF file you want to edit. Like I said, it could be an agreement form, it could be an employment form, a letter that requires that you sign it. Now, you may not see the PDF file immediately here because you're dealing with Canva, and by default, probably Canva is set at showing you image files only. So you're going to come to the image file or the file type here and select all files. So it's going to show you, it's going to pop out the remaining file types in your folder. Never forget, depending on the type of PC you're using or how it's configured with Canva, by default, it may show you image files. You may see only image or you may not even see anything at all, depending on what you have there in your folder. So, but I would suggest you change it to all files and you'll be able to see everything in that specific folder. And if you can't find it in that particular folder, you can browse through other parts of your PC. You can go to pictures or documents or anywhere you feel that the PDF file is located. So I'm going to use this particular file as an example, independent contractor agreement. So let's assume somebody sent this agreement letter or agreement form to me for me to sign to make it legal for us to have some kind of business together. So I'm going to select the file, click open, and Canva is going to populate the file. You can see importing your file. You're going to see it here. So you either click on view immediately or come to the bottom here. At the recent design section of the page, you're going to see the document you just imported, the PDF document you just imported. So Canva is going to convert it for you so that you'll be able to edit it. So click on it and it's going to load it on a separate page. So this is it on a separate page for you to see the content very well, because the zoom percentage is at 31%. So I will just suggest you increase it a little bit so you can see the content. And of course, you can scroll up and down to see the next one. So this document is, there are 4 pages. And at the bottom is where I am going to sign. I'm just using this as an example. So I'm acting like the contractor or the freelancer or the person that will handle the project. And the other party is the company, the owner of the project. So probably they want me to handle some stuff for them. And so to make the business deal more formal and legal, so I have to append my signature and some other details. So starting with the first page, this independent contractor agreement. So you fill out the date, the year is made between dash, that is the company, and dash, that is myself, with an office at. So now I'm going to show you how to fill out this. There are 2 options, 2 methods for now. And when you fill out these open spaces, then you can go down at the bottom and append your signature. Here you can also enter some additional details like the name of your company, your own personal name, the title you hold, then you append your signature. After doing that, you save it, print it back in PDF, and send it back to the company. Upon receiving it, the company will also fill out their own part of the form, and they will append their own signature. And with that, the document is binding on both parties. So how do we do this? I'm going to connect my magic pen. If you understand it to this point, kindly drop a yes, please. Drop a yes if you understand what I'm teaching up to this point. Can you drop a yes in the chat section? Oh, great. All right. All right. So I just need to be sure that people are following me, because I could hear some noise in the background. I need to be sure you're all following what I'm teaching here, because at this point, I need everybody to be attentive. All right. So we want to fill out this form. Remember, initially it was a PDF file. We imported it to Canva, and now you're going to look at the left side of the screen. You're going to see some tools here whereby you can add a lot of things. You can add some elements. You can upload additional files or images or videos or whatever. But this is what we'll be using for this demonstration. The first one is the text tool here, and the second one is the draw tool for you to edit any document. So you use the text tool if you want to type the information, right? So I just have to mute some people. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Sorry for the interruption. All right, now let's assume you want to impute a text information. You click on text, and it's going to give you some options. There are some templates here, but since we are dealing with a formal document, so we will not be using any of these templates. So these templates are only suitable for design purposes. But for formal documents, so we'll be typing the text directly from scratch. So let's use this, and it's going to give you this placeholder. This placeholder, you can edit it, move it around using this is the move button to move the placeholder or the canvas for your text. So I'm going to start with this. So up here, you can choose the font size to like 14. Then clicking on it, then type the name of your company, Shuto CLC Limited, for example. I'm just using this as an example. Then you have two options. Instead of going back to the text tool to click on this again, just duplicate this existing one by clicking on this duplicate button. You're going to see it's going to show as you hover your mouse cursor over it. Click on it, it's going to duplicate, and using this move button or icon, use it to move it to the next line and enter your name. In this case, I'm entering my name, Temi Tokbe. I will call it. All right, that is done. I can position it properly by moving and dragging. Then I click on it to duplicate it again, and I move over to the next line, the title. The title could be CEO and co-founder. So the title could be any name, any title. This is just for example. Then on the signature section, I'll have to use my magic pen to sign. Now to sign, that is where the next tool comes in. This is the draw tool on the left side, don't forget, and it's going to give you some options. The first one is the pen. The second one is a marker, and the third one is an highlighter. Well, we are using the first one actually, the pen, because we want to sign with the pen. And depending on the particular one you're using, it's going to shoot out higher than the rest. So because I'm using the pen is popping out, and here you can change the color depending on if you want to use black pen to sign, you can change the color to black. If you're signing with blue, you can change the color, scroll down and select blue. Then after that, you come here to sign. So this is just an example. After you have signed, and of course, you can click it again to deactivate. Click on this to deactivate the draw tool. So you have your signature there. You have the name of your company typed out, your own name. And there are some instances whereby probably the person says you should write it out in your own handwriting. So that all of this typed out text may not be necessary. So or you just use your hand to write out the text. So for example, I'm going to delete this, and delete this. So I'm going to write with my hand, just the same way I signed. So I go back to draw tool again, choose the pen option. Then I'm going to use that to write the name of the company, Shuto. Hold on. Undo. All right. I'm going to write Shuto CLC Limited. Name. Temitope. Title. All right. So this is if actually you want to write everything out with your handwriting without using the text tool. So, but most times I only use the draw tool for signature. Just for clarity, I use a text tool to fill out the rest of the form. I hope you're getting me. So I'm going to undo. I'm just showing you all these options that are available on Canva. And everything is free. So when you are done filling out the form, you have to scroll up, check that you have done everything properly. Just to save time, I will not be filling out the rest of the form. Like I said, this is just an example. All right, so what I'm going to do, so you have the option to change the file name at the top here. You can say template for agreement form. So that is our file name for this document. So when you're done doing that, just click on share. When you click on share, it's going to pop out this and scroll down to the bottom and click on download. When you click on download, under the file type, you can see why I started this masterclass with file type, understanding file type. You can see you have different file types here. You have JPEG, PNG, PDF, SVG, MP4. So if you started this masterclass with us, you quickly understand this. Or you can go back to watch the replay and you understand all of this, why all of these are here. So, but in this case, we need the PDF. So you're going to select the PDF standard. So then click on download. You can save the download setting if actually everything you'll be printing out from Canva is on PDF. So you can save it so that next time you come back to print again, it will be there by default. It will be on PDF by default. But in this case, we use Canva for everything, for images, for JPEG files, MP4 file, video files, and all of that. So I wouldn't even touch this setting. So I'll leave it open. So we have selected PDF standard, then click on download. So it's going to render the file within a few seconds, and it's going to pop out a save as dialog box whereby we can save our new file. So I'm going to click save, and if you don't want the existing folder that popped out for you, you can easily switch to a new folder from the from the side here on the left side. Our file name is okay. Unless you want to change it, you can rename it to something else. Otherwise, go ahead and click save. So that is it. That is how to edit PDF files. So some people may want to add images, probably they ask you to add your photograph, passport photograph. Or you need to, let me just quickly explain that. Go back to the left side here, click on upload, then upload files. Then you're going to open, select your passport photograph and click open, and it's going to populate it here. It's going to render it here. And from there, you can just select, let's assume this is my passport photograph. So clicking it, It's going to bring it out here. Then you can adjust by dragging one side, one angle, depending on how big or small you want it to look. And if the recipient has already specified the size of your passport photograph, what do? Just make sure you do it according to the specified size or pixel. Like this one is showing 1.5 by 1.5, 1.4, 1.3. So I just leave it at that. So let's assume this is my passport photograph. It should just be right here. And that is it. And if you want to remove the background, you want it to have a white background, just click on edit photo here. Click on edit photo and okay. To remove a background from any image on Canva, you have to have a pro account. But again, the link I showed you that I typed on my browser that I showed you in the beginning, it will actually afford you a free trial for pro account. I think you can use that for 1 month, I guess, so that you can try it out. So with pro account, just practice with it. You are not paying anything for 1 month. And before 1 month elapses, you can just cancel your pro membership, but you can still continue to use the free account on Canva. But I'm going to show you a free tool different from Canva that you can use to remove background from any image, and you can import the image on Canva and use it for any design you want. I hope you're getting my point. So, but in this case, let's just use this Pro to remove our background. Click on BG remover, and within seconds, it will remove it. So you can see this one no longer has, I think it looks more beautiful than before. So that is it if you actually want that form to have your passport photograph embedded in it. But if you don't want it to have a passport, just delete it. So I'm just showing you how to insert anything on your document, on your PDF document. And you can also mask out some information. Probably you want to remove some information, or you want to add to the file. You can actually do that by adding, click on add page. So when you add, it's going to give you a blank space to add your page. And probably you want to move this up to the beginning of the file. You can click on move up, move it up, move it up until it becomes the front page of your document. And of course, you can insert a cover page for the document just to make it more robust. And when you click on design button here on the left side of the page, you can select any front page, or you can just say probably a book template. So since we are dealing with official document, let's select this. So this is business solution book cover. So you can tweak this, adjust it, rewrite it to reflect the purpose of the file. In this case, we are dealing with an agreement document. Just type it. So these are editable. All these text, they are editable. Double click on it and start typing, remove, delete, insert new ones, Are you getting my point now? So you can do a lot of stuff here on Canva on the same PDF document you are trying to edit. So after you have done that, of course, you click on share, click on download, then select your file type to PDF, then click on download. It's going to pop out your dialog box and you can save it to any folder of your choice. So that is how to edit PDF file on Canva. And so far, this is what I've been using and it's proving to be the best. maybe until I find another best software, then of course I'm going to share with you in our in any of our webinars. But for now, this is what is the best. So let me just delete this and all right. So after you have saved your file, this is the file we created. So before you send it, this is very important. Please pay attention. You have to open it and make sure what you have done is actually there. So I'm going to open this file now. So you can see the file. Scroll to the bottom to check. Brilliant. So this is the signature and this is these are the other details. Now, having confirmed that the information are intact, of course, you can go ahead and share the file with the recipient. In our previous 2 lessons, I think I explained that, how to send by email and how to schedule it. For example, you want to share it in a later time. Of course, you can do that on your Gmail by selecting the date and the time you want the email to land in the recipient's email address. So you can watch the replay of our previous lessons and grasp a better understanding of the information. All right, that is it about editing PDF files. I want to explain how you can carry out some settings on your PC. Of course, there are various ways to go about that. But the first method I want to show you is when you are using the search box. And many of you who started with me on this masterclass, you already understood where the search box is located. But for those who are joining us for the first time today, I'm going to quickly repeat that, because using the search box to pull out any application from your PC can be a lot quicker than manually looking for the application from the start menu. So what you need to do is to simply start by typing the name of the setting or program you want to work with. And Windows will display the search result as you type. It will be automatically displayed, and of course you can select among the various options presented to you which one you're looking for. And of course you can also use the search box to browse the internet to search for any information. This I'm going to expand more on that, but let me share the desktop. All right. Okay. So once you are logged into your PC, of course, the first thing you see after booting your PC is your computer desktop. Like you can see, this is my own desktop. So you head over to the lower left corner of your PC. Here, so you're going to see this search box here. Clicking on it is going to pop out where you can type whatever you're searching for. For example, you're using your PC and all of a sudden a particular program is slowing down everything on your PC. It's hanging, freezing. At that moment, what you quickly need to do is to just end the task, end that program operation on your PC before it causes more havoc on your PC. So what you need to do is just search for task manager. So it's going to pop out. This is task manager. In our previous lesson, I explained that you can also pin If you want to be regularly using this particular feature or tool, you can pin it to your taskbar so that you don't have to search for it in your subsequent visit or when you need it in the future. So click on Task Manager. Then you're going to see all programs that are currently running on your PC. So it's going to show you the percentage of CPU that the program is using. At the moment, even though I opened a PDF file, like 3 of them, yet they are not having any negative impact on my CPU. At least it's between 0 to 0.1% usage. But this particular program that I'm using right now, Zoom app, is consuming 10%, 9%, 8%. So it varies, it's fluctuating of my compute power. And Google is also doing the same thing. I opened a lot of stuff on my browser, and I'm using Google Chrome for most of my internet activities. So that is why Google Chrome is also showing some crazy percentage of compute power here of my CPU. And of course, the memory, that is the RAM, the disk space, the network, and of course, the GPU. So all of those participate or contribute in making sure that you have a smooth running of any program you are running on your PC. So now, like I said, if you notice that a particular program is causing your PC to freeze or to slow down, all you need to just open the Task Manager, come to the Processes tab, and click on that specific program. For example, I'm using Adobe Acrobat for this purpose. Select it, and you're going to hover your mouse to the lower right corner of the window. You see End Task. So just click on it to end the task. And of course, immediately the program will disappear and your system will be freed from that havoc. So that is it. When you are done doing that, you close the window. So that is the first method to invoke a particular setting on your PC using the search box. Don't forget, you click on the search box, type what you want, and pull it out and use it as you need. The second option is through the control panel. The control panel, of course, is a central interface in the Microsoft Windows operating system that provides users with access to various system settings and configurations. It will allow you to manage various aspects of your computer's hardware, software, network settings, especially. So it's just see it as a hub, like a hub for managing system settings in your Windows operating system, because it will allow you to customize any setting to suit your needs, specific needs and preferences. So I want to show you some common settings that you can access and manage through the control panel, of course, in Windows. For example, you want to do something about your display settings. Again, you go to your search box, type control panel. You can see here, this is the app. Again, you can pin it to your taskbar in case you'll be using it frequently, or just simply select it. Now, this is your control panel. And of course, here you can remove some unwanted programs, uninstall them from your PC by clicking on program. So here you can search for that particular program that is causing problem, or you no longer need them. You want to free some space. For example, some programs may be as heavy as 267 MB, 639 MB, and all of that. So you want to free some space. Of course, you can come to programs and features, under programs, under control panel. So it's a long journey to do that. So you can just select any of them. For example, if I want to remove this, I'll select it, click on uninstall, and it will get off your PC. Now that is the control panel for you. Now, those are just few examples of the many settings that can be accessed and managed through the control panel in Windows operating system. And the exact steps may vary slightly depending on your version of Windows. So if I'm explaining something to you on Windows 10 and you're using Windows 7, of course, there will be some slight differences in the way the whole thing will be arranged. But one good thing about Windows operating system is that it's actually self-explanatory and user-friendly. You can navigate through any portion of the PC on your control panel and you'll be fine. But you have to be extra careful. If you don't understand a specific setting, you can easily look for help right there on control panel, because you will always see the help button to see how that particular feature works before you change the settings, or you back up your file before you carry out any changes. Now, I want to show you how you can move all your computer settings in one place in your desktop, right here on the desktop. Because instead of visiting the control panel searching for any of these settings, so there's a way you can move all your computer settings together in one place. And that is what is called the God mode. So it's actually a hidden feature in Windows 10. I think you can also find it in other versions of Windows. And it provides a master control panel for accessing all the operating system settings and features in one place, like I said. So it is called God mode because you have access, it grants you access like godlike power to access and modify virtually every setting on your computer, including some of these settings that are not readily available in the standard Windows setting menus. Some settings are hidden in your computer that only this God mode can help you fish them out. So I'm going to show you how to activate it quickly before we close for today. So all you need to just go to your desktop here and create a new folder. In our previous classes, I think I've explained how to create folders, files, and all of that. So right click on your desktop and click on new, click on folder. So don't touch anything, don't click anything, because it has highlighted blue the name new folder. So all we need is we want to rename that folder to a particular string of characters. So that string of characters, it is what will empower that folder to act like to be in God mode. That is, it will harness all the features of your control panel, or of your, not just control panel, of your computer system in one place. Then from there, you can just pick anyone you want and make use of it. So that string of characters, I'm going to share it somewhere. Okay, I will share it on the Telegram group, but I'm not sure if we have some people practicing along with me. Let me just let me share it in the comment section. Okay, I've clicked out this, so it has, the highlighting has disappeared, but I'm going to show you how to get it back. This is our folder, right? So now we have to rename it again. Right click on the new folder, scroll down. At the bottom, you see rename, click on it so you get the highlighting feature back. Then the string of characters that I shared with you, just paste it here and press enter to rename the folder. And as soon as you rename the folder, it's going to change to this. You can see, because I've done it on my desktop already, so that's why it's showing this. So when you do that, you double click on it. You can see it's going to pop out all the system settings you have that you can use, starting with administrative tools to autoplay features, backup features, BitLocker, drive encryption, credential manager. Actually, this particular feature is for advanced users. So if you don't understand some settings, don't touch them, but you can work with the one you understand. For example, you want to add a Bluetooth device. Let me see if this thing is shared. Can you see my screen? I guess. Yeah. So you want to add Bluetooth device, which is a common one, or you want to add a printer or add any hardware to your PC, or you want to set up a USB feature, you want to visit the device manager to update a driver. So all of those can be done here. So then you want to adjust the sound. Then you want to remove programs. The other time I showed you how to uninstall some programs. So you can easily do that here by clicking on add or remove programs. It will take you to that feature, that setting, and you'll be able to remove that program. So several other ones, you can adjust the sound, your system sound here, adjust system volume, manage your audio devices like your microphone and all of that, set up a new microphone. So everything can be accessed here in one place. Then you can add new user accounts. If you're not the only person using your PC and you don't want others to have access to your files and folders, so you can create a new user account for yourself and give it a password so that only you will have access to that account on the same PC that others are using. They will have access to the general files and folders on the same PC without being able to touch your own documents, your files and folders. I think, have I explained that in my previous lessons? Maybe I will revisit that again because it's very important. There are some computers on workplaces whereby everybody will have access to it. And there are some sensitive information you would like to keep to yourself. So there's a way you can go about it. Just create a new user account for yourself, and you have a separate folder, separate file, and all of that for yourself. Passworded, no one else will be able to have access to it. So I think I will include that in our next lesson. So far, so good. That is how far we'll be able to go for today's masterclass. Don't forget what we have learned today. Today, I showed you how to edit a PDF file on Canva and how to add a lot of stuff to it, like images, like text, how to sign it, especially for those dealing with recruiters, with landlords, or with the agents that require document signing and all of that. So you can just simply do that on Canva as I explained. And you can also do some other design stuff on it. Then from there, we explain what the control panel is used for and how you can access it and what can be done on it, like your sound setting, your display settings, your power option settings, user accounts, and all of that, network and sharing center. All of that can be done on your control panel. And finally, I explained how you can move all of these settings together in one place so that you don't have to start searching for them on your control panel. And that is called the God mode. The God mode, because it gives you ultimate access to all, especially hidden features on your computer system, whereby you can just pull out anything from there and adjust the setting. So that is the God mode. And I showed you how to do that by creating a new folder, rename that folder with the string of characters that I shared with you. So when you use that string of characters, of course, you'll be able to create that God mode feature on your desktop. So that is it for today. And I want to appreciate you for coming. And I hope you have derived one or two important things from this masterclass. So next class we'll be dealing with how to browse safely online, and also I will explain some other. There will be follow-up questions. I will start with that in our next class. Then from there, I will explain how to browse safely online to stay safe without revealing your privacy or compromising your privacy online. All right. Thank you very much for coming. For those who came late, well, I don't know. We'll see what we can do about the recording. I'm not sure. The recording for the last class, I have not yet uploaded it. So I'm very busy having a lot of stuff doing. But then let's see how we can go about that. But drop your question on the Telegram group and let me go through them and see how I can explain that. So thank you very much for coming, and I'll see you in our next masterclass.